Okay, apparently I do work in 3 parts at a time. All right, so that's that bend we just put in there to tighten up that wire. And we're going to do the same on the other side. Just get in this little bend here. Hang on, I'm going to just turn this around. Get into this little bend here and bend that inwards about the same, and this just tightens it all up, secures your stone, so you're in a good place there. Okay, that's your front, that's your back. Okay, right there, back and front. All right, now let's get to the bail. Before you do that, again, just make sure your wires are going right. They're kind of, everything is centered, everything is where it needs to be. Again, just teeny tiny adjustments that you need to make so all the wires are sitting nice and snug. And we're going to start wrapping these. Just going to slightly cross them over and bring them back, just like you do with the jump rings and stuff, just so they're sitting nice and secure and tight next to each other. All right, now for this next part, I already have a bit of wire cut, so I'm not going to cut it down even shorter and make bits and pieces. But you would need about, I would say about 8 to 10 inches. Give yourself a tail of about 1.5 inches. I'm going to just zoom out a little bit. Hang on, just so you can see the whole video. Right there. Sorry about that. So about 1.5 inches of a tail. Again, flat side to the wires, the bail. Hold it nice and firm and come around. Now basically it's 2 wires. You're coiling them but trying to keep them next to each other. All right? Coil as close to each other as to the previous coil as possible, because I'm going to show you this. When you're coiling like this and you want to get them closer to each other, let me just use my vent nose for a second. You can get those nice and tight and they look good. If you were coiling like further away like this, when you kind of squish them together, you will have these little bubbles, and you don't want those bubbles. You want it to be nice and smooth. So if that happens, just open it up. You can use your nylon jaws to straighten out those little kinks and wrap them again, this time closer to each other. You can hold that down there with one finger, have the flat side pointing down, and you can turn your actual pendant piece around so the coil is nice and tight and close to each other, just like that. Okay, so we're going to continue coiling. I'm going to just take that a little bit closer off camera so I can see what I'm doing and not bubbling it up, like I said not to do. Unravel it slightly, tighten up, and just keep coiling. Just hold the flat side to your finger and that'll put it right against your pendant there. Try to keep the wires straight so they're not going to fall one on top of the other. All right, I'm just going to coil this and get back to you in a minute. Okay. And give yourself like a good, at least a couple of inches. Let's get rid of that bubble there. can use your fingers if you wanted to use your plier or rotate your pendant around. That's completely up to you. Every so often, every few coils, just push it together and just gently tap so those wires continue to sit next to each other. This one seems to have turned around. Okay. It's a beautiful day here. Hope you guys are also getting to enjoy the summer days. It's beautiful, sunshiny, and the squirrels are frolicking. The chipmunks are all over the place. My garden is just a bunch of weeds right now. I should be getting to it soon. Planting something, hopefully, this year. Okay. Now, because this is a more delicate pendant than the previous one I did, I don't want to have the bail super big. It's going to sit on a nice slim silver chain, so I don't want to overwhelm the pendant too much with a super thick bail. I'm just going to bend it slightly forwards, just slightly forward. And you can use a dowel, you can use your bail making pliers, your fingers, whatever you're comfortable with. Just get a sort of a round shape. I'm going to terminate because we coiled around this. What I'm going to do is I'm going to terminate this wire because it's a little twisted and I don't want that over there. So terminate that there. Follow in with your needle nose pliers and just like curl it back around. You want this back to meet